The desert wind screamed across the endless sands of Arizona territory like a warning from the dead. Night was falling over Blackstone Desert, painting the sky in shades of crimson and fire. The dry earth cracked beneath the hooves of a lone horse galloping through the wasteland. Its rider leaned low in the saddle. A cowboy, tall, dust-covered, dangerous. His name was Colt Walker. And half the West wanted him dead. Behind him, 6 riders thundered across the desert, their torches flickering in the darkness like hungry wolves chasing blood. "Don't let him escape," one shouted. Bullets ripped through the air. Colt ducked low as a shot tore through the brim of his hat. He cursed under his breath and pushed his black stallion harder. "Come on, Shadow," he muttered. Just a little farther. The horse charged through a narrow canyon pass, sand exploding beneath its hooves. The outlaws followed close behind. But Colt knew something they didn't. This canyon was cursed, and tonight, it belonged to her. 3 months earlier, Colt Walker rode into the town of Rust Creek beneath a burning sunset. Rust Creek was dying. The saloon windows were shattered. Shops stood empty. Fear drifted through the streets heavier than dust. People stopped talking when Colt arrived. That happened often. The scar on his jaw and the revolver on his hip usually told enough stories. Colt dismounted outside the saloon. A drunk old man sitting nearby squinted at him. "You're either brave or stupid coming here." Colt tied his horse calmly. "Usually both." The old man laughed nervously. "You ain't from around here, are you?" "No." "Then listen carefully." The man leaned closer. "Stay away from Blackstone Desert." Colt paused. "Why?" The old man swallowed hard. "Because the Desert Queen owns it." Inside the saloon, the piano had gone silent. Every eye turned toward Colt as he entered. At the far corner sat 3 armed men wearing black coats marked with silver snake symbols. The Black Fang Gang, killers. One of them smirked. "Well now," he said loudly. "Looks like a lost cowboy wandered into the wrong town." Colt ignored him and walked toward the bar. "Whiskey." The bartender poured quickly, hands trembling. The outlaw stood up. "You deaf, cowboy?" Still no answer. The entire saloon held its breath. The outlaw walked closer. "I asked you a question." Colt finally looked at him. Cold gray eyes. The kind that had seen too much death. "I heard you." "Then answer." Colt took a sip. "No." The outlaw's face darkened. His hand moved toward his revolver. "Big mistake." The gunshot exploded through the saloon. People screamed. The outlaw crashed backward over a table, dead before he hit the floor. Silence. The other 2 gang members stared in shock. They hadn't even seen Colt draw. Neither had anyone else. Colt slowly finished his drink. Then he looked at the bartender. Another. By midnight, the whole town knew. A stranger had killed one of Black Fang's men. That meant only one thing. Death was coming. And death arrived sooner than expected. The sound of horses echoed through Rust Creek just before dawn. Dozens of riders surrounded the town. Black Fang. Their leader rode at the front. Rex Kane, the most feared outlaw in the territory. Tall, cruel, eyes like a rattlesnake, he stared at the townspeople gathering nervously. "Bring me the cowboy," Rex growled, "and maybe I don't burn this town to the ground." Nobody moved. Then Colt Walker stepped out of the saloon alone. Dust blew between them. Rex smiled darkly. "So you're the fool causing trouble." Colt lit a cigarette calmly. "You talk too much." Several gang members reached for their guns instantly. Rex raised a hand to stop them. "No," he said, "I want this one alive." He looked directly at Colt. "You've got skill, cowboy. Men like you usually work for me, or die." Colt exhaled smoke slowly. "I already work alone." Rex chuckled. "That can change." "No." The smile vanished from Rex's face. "Kill him." The gang drew their weapons. Then suddenly, an explosion thundered across the desert hills. Boom. The ground shook violently. Horses panicked. Men shouted in confusion. Then came the sound. Drums. Slow. Deep. Ancient. Every outlaw froze. Even Rex Kane's face changed. "No," one gang member whispered fearfully. A sandstorm rose from the desert horizon. But inside the storm, riders emerged. Women dressed in black desert robes rode across the dunes like ghosts beneath the rising sun. At their center rode a woman on a white horse. Beautiful, deadly, untouchable. The Desert Queen. Dash dash dash. The entire town watched in stunned silence. She rode forward slowly, golden eyes fixed on Rex Kane. The wind lifted her dark veil slightly, revealing flawless skin and eyes sharp enough to cut steel. Legends about her existed everywhere. Some called her a witch. Others said she commanded spirits beneath the desert sands. Many believed she wasn't human at all. But every story agreed on one thing. Never cross the Desert Queen. Rex Kane forced a grin. Well, he said nervously, this is unexpected. The Queen's voice was calm and smooth. You entered my desert without permission. Rex laughed weakly. Your desert. Her warriors quietly aimed rifles at Black Fang. Yes. The atmosphere turned deadly. Colt watched carefully. Something about her felt different. Not fearful, not cruel, powerful, like the desert itself had taken human form. Rex glanced around. You really want to start a war over territory? The Queen tilted her head slightly. It won't be a war. Rex's smile faded. Then she raised one hand. Chaos exploded instantly. Gunfire erupted everywhere. The Queen's riders attacked with terrifying precision. Black Fang members fell one after another. Horses screamed. Men died in the dirt. Colt moved fast, diving behind a water barrel as bullets shattered wood around him. He fired twice. 2 outlaws dropped. The Queen rode directly through the battle like death itself. Her curved blade flashed silver beneath the sunlight. One swing. Another man fell. Rex Kane realized too late. He had walked into a slaughter. Retreat. He screamed. But it was already over. Within minutes, Black Fang was destroyed. Bodies covered the street. Smoke drifted through Rust Creek. The Desert Queen slowly turned her horse toward Colt. Their eyes met. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then she said, You shoot well, cowboy. Colt holstered his revolver. You ride well, Queen. A faint smile touched her lips. That was the first mistake either of them made. Dash dash dash. Her real name was Zahara. Colt learned that later. That night, she invited him to her desert camp deep within Blackstone Canyon. Most men would have refused. Colt followed willingly. The camp was unlike anything he'd ever seen. Hundreds of lanterns glowed beneath massive canyon walls. Desert warriors moved silently through the camp while music echoed softly through the night air. Children laughed near the fires. Families lived there. Not criminals. Not monsters. People. Zahara sat across from Colt near a fire. You're wondering why we hide? Colt nodded slightly. People fear what they don't understand. She looked toward the stars. Years ago, rich landowners tried taking Blackstone Desert because gold was discovered beneath it. They murdered tribes, burned villages, stole everything. Her eyes hardened. So I fought back. Colt studied her quietly. You built an army. I built a family. The fire crackled softly between them. Then she looked directly at him. And what about you, cowboy? Colt's expression darkened. No family. No home. No. What happened? He stared into the flames for a long time. Violence. Something in his voice carried old pain. Zahara noticed. But she didn't press further. Because she understood pain too well. Dash dash dash. Over the following weeks, Colt stayed in Blackstone Canyon. At first, he told himself it was temporary. But slowly, the desert changed him. For the first time in years, he wasn't running. He helped train riders, protected supply caravans, laughed beside campfires, and every night, he found himself drawn toward Zahara. She was fierce yet kind, dangerous yet compassionate. The more he learned about her, the more impossible it became to leave. And she felt it too. One evening, beneath a sky filled with stars, they stood together overlooking the canyon cliffs. The desert is beautiful at night, Colt said softly. Zahara smiled faintly. It only shows its beauty to those who survive it. He looked at her. Sounds familiar. Their eyes met again. Closer this time. More dangerous. Then, gunfire echoed through the canyon. Everything changed instantly. A rider galloped into camp shouting, Black Fang is back. Dash dash dash. Rex Kane had survived, and he wanted revenge. This time, he brought an army. Nearly 100 riders surrounded Blackstone Canyon by sunrise. Explosives shook the cliffs. Smoke filled the air. Zahara's warriors prepared for battle. Colt loaded his revolver beside her. You should leave, she told him. He smirked slightly. You first. You'll die here. So will you. For the first time in years. She smiled during war. Then the attack began. The battle for Blackstone Canyon became legend across the Wild West. Gunfire thundered endlessly. Men fought across cliffs, caves, and burning desert sands. Explosions lit the canyon like hellfire. Colt moved like death through the battlefield. Every shot found its target. Every movement precise. But Black Fang kept coming. Rex Kane rode straight toward Zahara through the chaos. You should have killed me when you had the chance. He roared. Zahara drew her blade. Their horses collided violently. Steel clashed. Gunfire exploded around them. Meanwhile, Colt fought desperately through enemy riders trying to reach her. But then, a rifle shot cracked across the canyon. Zahara gasped. Blood spread across her shoulder. Rex grinned wickedly. And Colt saw red. Pure rage exploded inside him. He shot 3 riders off their horses in seconds and charged directly toward Rex Kane. The outlaw turned too late. Colt slammed into him violently, dragging him off his horse. Both men crashed hard into the dirt. Rex swung wildly. Colt dodged and punched him hard across the jaw. The outlaw spat blood. You love her. Rex sneered. Colt froze for half a second. That was enough. Rex pulled a hidden knife and stabbed Colt in the side. Pain exploded through him. But Colt didn't fall. Instead, he grabbed Rex's wrist and broke it with brutal force. The outlaw screamed. Colt drew his revolver slowly. This desert, Colt said coldly, doesn't belong to monsters. Bang! Rex Kane fell dead into the sand. Leaderless, Black Fang collapsed. The surviving outlaws fled into the desert. The war was over. But Colt collapsed moments later. Darkness swallowed him. When he awoke, soft sunlight warmed his face. He was inside Zahara's tent. She sat beside him quietly. You survived, she whispered. Guess I'm hard to kill. Her eyes glistened slightly. You almost died. Colt looked at her wounded shoulder. So did you. Silence filled the tent gently. Then Zahara reached for his hand. You could stay, she said softly. Colt stared at her. For years he had lived like a ghost. No roots, no future, just endless roads and violence. But here, with her, things felt different, real. Outside, the desert wind moved peacefully through the canyon. No gunfire, no death, just silence. Warm and alive, Colt squeezed her hand gently. Maybe, he said quietly, I'm tired of riding alone. For the first time, the desert queen truly smiled. And beneath the endless skies of Blackstone Desert, the lonely cowboy finally found something worth staying for. Not gold, not glory, love, and sometimes, that's the rarest treasure the Wild West ever knew.